Listen carefully, because what I'm about to say will make you question everything you've been told about silver. The Comex is experiencing a major physical silver drawdown right now, and the market is acting like it's just another day. But this is not normal. January already saw 8,531 physical deliveries issued and accepted. That's 43 million ounces of real silver moving out of the Comex system. Ounces of real silver moving out of the Comex system. I don't want to waste your time. I'm sitting right here to explain the real dynamics of the silver market. No fluff, no hype, just raw data. If you want the truth, then pay attention, because this is where the system starts to break. And here's the part nobody wants you to notice. There are only 119 million ounces left in registered inventory. And this delivery amount is 4 times what it was in January 2025. This is not a paper game. This is a physical squeeze, and it's happening no matter what. Before you panic, let me explain something very simple. The Comex isn't just a trading floor. It's the place where paper contracts are supposed to turn into real metal. Think of it like this. A paper contract is a promise that you can walk into a vault and take delivery of silver. But registered inventory is the actual silver sitting in the vault, ready to be handed over. So when deliveries are issued, that physical silver has to come out of the registered supply. And here's the hidden truth. Most people think the silver price moves because demand is rising or investors are buying. But in reality, the silver market is driven by 2 separate worlds. Paper silver, where contracts are traded like digital money. Physical silver, where real metal is stored, moved, and owned. When paper and physical are in balance, the system looks normal. But when physical supply starts getting sucked out of the Comex and paper still acts calm, that's when the system starts to break. And right now, the Comex is showing the first real cracks. Now listen closely, because this is where the truth becomes undeniable. 8,131 physical deliveries in January means 43 million ounces of real silver have already been taken out of the Comex. That's not a small number. That's a massive drain. And now there are only 119 million ounces left in registered inventory. Let me break that down for you in a way that hits hard. 1/3 of the entire registered Comex silver inventory is being delivered in just 1 month. Think about that. It's like a fuel tank that starts the month full, and by the middle of the month, it's already running dangerously low. And the most dangerous part? This isn't a one-time event. This is a continuing trend. Every month, the physical supply is shrinking, but the paper market still acts like everything is normal. It's like watching a building collapse, while the news anchor keeps saying the structure is stable. That's the kind of disconnect we are seeing, and the numbers prove it. This delivery volume is 4 times higher than January 2025. So the squeeze isn't slowing down, it's accelerating. This is not just a market event. This is a physical reality hitting the system. And when physical reality hits a paper market, the paper market does not win. Now here's where most people get lost, because the real story is hidden behind the curtain. The Comex is not just a marketplace. It's a system controlled by a few powerful players who profit from paper silver. And paper silver is not real silver. Paper silver is a contract, a promise, a claim, a betting ticket. So when the market is flooded with paper contracts, it looks like silver is abundant. But the truth is, paper can be printed endlessly. Physical cannot. And that's the hidden force driving the squeeze. The system is built to pretend physical supply is infinite. They use paper to create the illusion of stability. But physical demand is real, and it doesn't care about their illusion. Here's the secret. When physical deliveries rise, it exposes the weakness of the paper system. It shows that real silver is being pulled out of the vaults faster than it can be replaced. And when that happens, the system starts to panic. But you'll never hear that on mainstream financial news. They won't tell you the truth because the truth would expose the entire paper system. So they distract you with, silver is trading lower today. The market is calm. Nothing to worry about. But the truth is right there in the numbers. 8,531 deliveries, 43 million ounces. Only 119 million registered left. That's not calm. That's a system under pressure. It's like a pressure cooker that keeps heating up while the lid is sealed tight. And eventually, the lid will blow. Now, before anyone in the comment section starts arguing, let's address the common counterpoints. Because there are always people who try to dismiss this reality. Argument 1, it's just seasonal demand. Yes, silver demand can rise seasonally, but this isn't seasonal. This is historic. Argument 2, delivery numbers don't matter. It's normal activity. Normal activity doesn't burn through 1/3 of registered supply in 1 month. That's not normal. That's a crisis. Argument 3, registered inventory is fake. It doesn't matter. Registered inventory is the only physical supply that can satisfy Comex deliveries. If it's gone, there's no way to fulfill contracts. And here's the truth that no one wants to admit. When the system is under stress, the paper market starts to behave like a giant bluff. The biggest players rely on the fact that most investors don't understand the difference between paper contracts, real physical metal, and when that difference becomes obvious, the system becomes vulnerable. It's like a magician who relies on misdirection. As long as the audience is distracted, the trick works. But once the audience sees the sleight of hand, the illusion collapses. So yes, you will hear people say, it's just paper, it's just a normal market, it's nothing to worry about. But the numbers don't lie. 8,131 deliveries, 43 million ounces, 119 million registered left, 4 times higher than John 2025. That's not a theory, that's proof. Now, let's bring this home. What does all this mean for you, the small investor? First, understand this. Paper silver and physical silver are two different worlds. Paper can stay cheap. Paper can trade in millions of contracts. But physical supply is finite. When deliveries rise and inventory falls, the price of real silver is under huge pressure to move higher. If you only hold paper, you might see calm prices while the physical market is being drained behind the scenes. That's why understanding physical silver is critical. It's like owning a ticket versus owning the actual gold coin. The ticket might say you own it, but if the coin disappears, the ticket is worthless. For a small investor, this is a wake-up call. Do not just watch the Comex numbers or paper charts. Watch physical supply and delivery trends. Pay attention to real demand, not what the brokers tell you, because when the squeeze accelerates, the market does not wait. Opportunities for wealth are real, but so are risks for those unprepared. Your next moves need to be informed. Understand the difference, watch the numbers, and act before the system forces you to. Now let's talk about the bigger players, the ones who don't get emotional but get real results. Bigger investors don't just watch prices, they watch system stress, they watch the numbers that reveal the truth. Physical deliveries rising, registered inventory shrinking, and the paper market still acting calm. Because when the system is stressed, bigger investors do something small investors can't. They move early, before the crowd catches on. They know that when physical demand exceeds supply, the market has only one direction. And the bigger the squeeze, the more violent the move. The biggest investors don't rely on the mainstream narrative. They don't wait for the news to confirm what they already see. They understand the game. They know the Comex is a leverage system. And leverage always breaks under stress. So when you see these numbers, 8,531 deliveries, 43 million ounces, 119 million registered left, 4x higher than Jan 2025, that's not a signal to watch, that's a signal to act, because bigger investors are already moving. And if you don't understand what they're seeing, you'll be left behind when the system finally snaps. Now here's the real question. Why is this happening right now? Because the truth is simple. Silver is not being squeezed because of hype. It's being squeezed because real physical demand is overwhelming a limited supply. Every day more people are realizing the difference between paper and physical, and every day more physical silver is being pulled out of the Comex, but the supply is finite. The system can only hide the truth for so long. So why now? Because the world is waking up to the fact that the global economy is unstable and people want real assets. They don't want promises. They want metal. And when physical demand rises, the paper system starts to show cracks. That's why we're seeing deliveries spike. That's why registered inventory is dropping fast. And that's why the squeeze is continuing. No matter what the mainstream says, it's not a rumor, it's not speculation, it's physical reality. And the question isn't if the system breaks, the question is when. If you want to survive this market shift, you need to stop trusting the paper market. Watch the physical delivery numbers, watch the registered inventory, because the truth is hidden in the numbers, not in the headlines. If you want real silver market truth, not propaganda, hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because this squeeze is only going to get louder. And the mainstream will keep pretending everything is fine. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not financial advice.